Rambling Canuck here. Today we're going to do a Star Trek video. More specifically, my thoughts on the upcoming Picard series. But before I do that, I thought I would take a couple of minutes here just to kind of give you a background of where I come from when it comes to Star Trek. So, I entered the Star Trek fandom during the TNG series. For those who don't know, that's Star Trek Next Generation. I was born a little too late for TOS. However, I have gone back and watched TOS. However, I fall into the TNG Forever crowd. So I watched Star Trek Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager for the most part, but I will admit I kind of dropped off partial way through some of the seasons of that. And then for a while it was just reruns of TOS and Next Generation, because by far my top three as far as Star Trek is concerned is Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and then TOS. And yes, I know I just had a whole bunch of people throw things at the screen because I put TOS at the third. However, please remember I'm born in '84. Anyway, moving along. So after a while, they came up with Enterprise. And I could not get into that series for the life of me. And if you need to know why, I would put it this way. It wasn't really the storylines or the ship aesthetics. For me, the theme songs of a Star Trek show have always been the thing that really jump out to me. And if you need to know why Enterprise failed for me, play a little game, go on your YouTube, open up the theme song from TOS, Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine, and then open up Enterprise's theme. And then play a little game called Which One of These is Not Like the Other. But anyway, so that was that, and I really couldn't get into Enterprise. So when Discovery came out, Star Trek Discovery that is, I was kind of excited and hoping that I could get back into a Star Trek show. And I made it through the first season. Begrudgingly, I made it through the first season. And I swore I'd never watch that junk again. Unfortunately. So for season 2, I will fully admit, I haven't watched a single episode. I have just watched reactions to said episodes because I just cannot bring myself to watch it. I just can't. But, so here we are at the Picard series coming up. And I'm to give my top of the, just off the cuff, I am optimistic for it. Even with everything that's been done in Discovery, I'm still pleasantly optimistic for the Picard series. And the reason I say that is, simply put, who's in it? Patrick Stewart. Now, Patrick Stewart has gone on record stating that he has been asked to come back in one way or another several times and turned them down. Which means, to me anyway, until the show comes out and proves me wrong, they had to give him one heck of a sell. And I don't think it's just a matter of backing up money to his house and saying, please, 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 please. I think to get Stewart to do it, I think they really had to pitch something half decent. Because otherwise I don't see Patrick Stewart doing it. And he has enough clout in Hollywood that if he doesn't want to do it, he ain't doing it. So I'm kind of, for that alone, I'm optimistic, because I feel that Patrick Stewart will basically not do anything too stupid. And so in that way, maybe I'm a little naive and I'm up for a lot of disappointment coming up. But another way I'd like to put it, and I know I'm going to make a whole bunch of Star Trek and Star Wars nerds mad at me for doing this comparison. However, as I've said in previous videos, I'm a wrestling fan. So for me, I look at the new Picard series similarly to I look at some of the ideas in the wrestling world, and that just being certain wrestlers have enough fame, such as, we'll use the most commonly known, Hulk Hogan. When Hulk Hogan was in wrestling, he had what they called creative control. Which to this day, if you go onto any wrestling site or anything like that, you will hear fans yell and scream and rant and rave about how he used his creative control. But that's besides the point and not really relevant to this. But I think in the same way, Patrick Stewart is going to have creative control. I don't think it's going to be a case of the writers write something and Patrick Stewart just goes along with it. I think in the new Picard series, it's going to be write something, Patrick Stewart look at it, and if he doesn't like it, I think it's going to be nope, redo it. And they're going to have no choice because, like Hogan, I think that Patrick Stewart rather will have in his contract creative control over the Picard character. I don't see him just allowing them to one day make him completely go against anything that he believes, not necessarily what us fans believe, but what he believes Picard would and wouldn't do. Or truths about Picard that he does or does not believe. So I in that sense, I have great optimism for the Picard series because I am crossing my fingers and hoping and praying that Patrick Stewart had enough intelligence to put that in his contract, that he has creative control over the direction of Picard. And if that's the case, then I think that we could be in for a very interesting TV series. Because I don't think the writers on the Picard series are going to have as much free reign as the writers on, say, Discovery do. And so in that vein, I think that we could get a good series out of this. But again, it could be just being over-optimistic. So, I don't know. That's kind of my thoughts in a nutshell. If you can agree or disagree or add comments and say, Robert, you are silly, completely naive and stupid, and the show is going to suck. But I'm holding out in optimism here. So if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, folks. See ya.